Hi guys. I wanted to share something with you. It's not a tip that has anything to do with Thanksgiving unless you like tacos for Thanksgiving, which to each their own. I don't have a problem with that. Um, but I wanted to share with you how to make homemade taco seasoning. In our house, we make a lot of Mexican and Hispanic foods, not because that's where we're from, but because my husband's mother is from New Mexico and grew up eating that way, and so that's the way she cooks a lot. Um, and so when I married Jacob, he introduced me to that way of cooking and eating. So we eat that way a lot, not all the time, but a lot. So right now what you're looking at is all the spices that you will need for it. You might ask, so why in the heck would you want to make your own taco seasoning? Well, have you ever looked at the back of a taco packet and wondered what half the ingredients are that's in there? A lot of it's preservatives, but is it really good for you? Have you ever looked at the cost compared to just pulling the spices out of your cupboard that you already have and using them? Or the convenience of already using what you have? There's a number of different reasons, and it just tastes so much better. Especially with some of my seasonings, like my onion powder. I make my own onion powder out of green garden onions / bunching onions, whatever you want to call them. And the smell is just out of this world. It is so good. Every time I open up the bottle, I have to smell it. It's so good. And the same thing with the garlic powder. They give off your spices you have at home that you make yourself, give off a better flavor and smell because they're a lot fresher than the stuff you buy in the store. However, I do still buy some of my spices, like my paprika, although I just learned from a friend how to make my own paprika, and I'm going to try it. Cumin, sea salt. So, no, I don't make all of mine, but I make a good chunk of mine. A friend of mine sent me a video on how to make paprika. Using a red bell pepper, you make your sweet paprika. Dehydrate the pepper, make sure you scrape all the seeds out, and cut it up and dehydrate it, and then grind it up like you would the garlic or the onion. If you want a spicier paprika, you can use the spicier red peppers, red chilies, or whatever. But that's basically all there is to it. I currently don't need to do that right now, so it'll probably be next growing season before I do that. But if it works out and I like it, I'll share it with you guys. So, the crushed red chili pepper flakes came from some chilies that my mother had brought back from New Mexico on one of her trips about a year or so ago, and she had more than she could use, and so she gave me some. I dehydrated them, seeds and all, and I chopped them up into flakes. Now, if I wanted to, I could chop them up even finer and make them into chili powder, which I have done before. So, really, that's the amount of spices. So I'm going to go over this with you. So they're in order according to the recipe, and I will send you guys the recipe as well. So your chili powder is 1 tablespoon. Your garlic powder is 1 teaspoon. Onion powder is 1/4 of a teaspoon. Red pepper flakes is 1/4 of a teaspoon. Dried oregano is 1/4 of a teaspoon. Then we go to the paprika, which is 1/2 of a teaspoon. Ground cumin, 1.5 teaspoons. And sea salt is 1 teaspoon. So, this is what it looks like when you get it into your jar. Isn't that pretty? You can either leave it like this just because it looks pretty, but I don't really care. So what I do is I'm going to shake it up. And there is your taco seasoning. So next time you need to make tacos, don't run out and buy a packet. Just make your own. Hope you guys have a beautiful day.